Hi guys, I am back again, and if any of you can read, you know that we are doing a tour of brush paint now. So first I will go here and just clear canvas. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is I think this is like a color palette, and it has all these different colors, and it also has an option where you can clean the brush. So now the brush has no colors. So like this one is blue, and I push this, and now it's not green, not blue, not dark blue, not. You get the picture. And you can also like pick one of these, and you can go onto their little palette thing here. That one won't show up because I picked white. Anyway, onto their palette, and you can put the color on the palette like that, and then you can add another color like this one, and you can mix them together. Normally what I do when I am mixing colors, I go and I pick one and I put it on the palette, and then I pick another one and put it on the palette, and then I clean the brush, and then I use the brush with no color to mix it. And honestly, I don't tend to use the watercolor brushes. These are watercolor brushes. I tend to not use them when I'm making new colors because it's harder to mix them and get it consistent. I like to use the oil paint brushes, so these brushes instead, because when you mix with them, then it's much more consistent. It's more consistent when you mix them together. Like if I use this and I just mix the two together, they are pretty evenly mixed together. It's not like one of them shows up more than the other, it's just a new color altogether. So, and I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. So these, oh, and they also have a color picker, which I don't use as much. But I guess if you were trying to instead of having to mix your colors, you wanted to pick them, then that would be useful. Anyway, so they have 3 different sections on, well, technically 4 different sections. They have the watercolor brushes, which is these brushes, and then these, which are oil paints, and then last they have the the rest, which is a pen, 2, I think these are the same, they're just different shapes, 2 kind of waxier ones. These you can't mix new colors for, you just have to pick colors, and different sizes colored pencils, and I think different types of colored pencils also. Like if I zoom in and I draw all of them, this one is kind of a lighter pencil, I guess. I don't really know what the difference between the pencils is. There's just different pencils. And then they have an eraser, which can erase everything until you dry it, which I will talk about in a minute. So they have an eraser and they have a blender. And if any of you have ever used like a blending stub, then you already know what it does, and it just kind of rubs the color around and together, kind of makes everything more blurry. I don't know why it stopped working right here. Apparently the pen doesn't do it. Now you know. Ta-da! No. But yeah, it just kind of blends things, which is what the name implies. So yeah, that's what that does, and it's kind of fun to play with. Now earlier I talked about drying things, and that would be on this. And on this little thing you have a eyedropper. That's not going to work because I'm on eraser. But you have an eyedropper. So anything, if you have a brush selected and you use your eyedropper, then it will pick up the color you put the eyedropper on top of. So like if I take it here, now my brush is orange. Put it right here, now it's gray. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Anyway, they also have this, which makes the canvas fit. So since I was zoomed in, it zooms it out, and if you zoom out, it zooms in. And it also has an undo button and a redo button. And then it has a button that dries everything. And once you have dried things, your eraser does not work on those things. See, I have the eraser selected at its biggest thing, and it can't do anything because I dried that layer. But you can still undo it, I think. I think you can undo stuff. No. Yes. You can undo stuff and undo drying something. So now it's not dry and I can erase stuff. Then I dry it again. Can't erase anymore. Pretty simple. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, it also has different types of canvases. So we are going to erase, clear the canvas, which is what I did earlier, and you just push this button and it gets rid of everything. Like, it's kind of like this for brushes, or this for the palette. You can also clean those. Anyway, so you go in here and you can select which canvas. And if you watch, the texture on the canvas changes. So it looks like this, then you change it and it looks like that. You change it again, it looks like this, and so on. So these are canvases, and these are paper. And I don't really know what the difference is, but there's just different textures, I guess. So yeah, that is my tour of brush painting. Thanks for watching!